Oh, sorry. That's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. We're going to start the show off. It's going to be a little slow. The Saturday afternoon, my wife's grandmother passed away. This woman was a great woman. I never heard her speak ill of a single person. She was a beautiful woman, and she led a great life, and I can't speak highly enough of her. So she's going to be missed greatly. Okay, I had to, do something to honor her. She was great woman. I'm going to miss her. Oh, all right. I know that has nothing to do with politics or anything like that, but that she deserves a lot of recognition. A lot of recognition. That woman was a great woman. All right. Let's see, where are we at? Got my dog barking in the background. He is freaking out. I guess my wife's home, or she's pulled up and he's all going ape shit. I just came across this article just as I was coming on air. RNC chairwoman McDaniel cancel August recess for Congress until Obamacare is repealed. Ronna Romney McDonald is joining calls for Congress to cancel August recess until Obamacare is repealed and replaced. Republicans are fighting for the American people because we have a healthcare system, Obamacare, which is failing. McDaniel said in a statement the RNC provided exclusively to Breitbart News. I don't know if you saw the news today that 2 million people more will be losing their insurance. This is a system Democrats put in place without any Republican input, and now that it's failing, the Democrats have run away as quickly as they can. Republicans are trying to solve a very difficult problem created by your friendly neighborhood Democrat. That's what's funny, is they created this, but when it's come forth, and I heard one time, well, they never put anything forward to correct it. Yeah, they did. They tried to put stuff forward to correct it, and the Democrats kept smacking it down. Why? Because they're schmack jobs. I just don't understand it. I'm looking up at the screen, and They don't care. The Democrats don't. They put the system in place. It's failing. It's failing miserably. It is from their creation. And what do? They run from it. They run pretty much as fast as they can away from it. They have no decency to try to be responsible and help fix it. They run from it like little kids, and it's disgusting. It's repulsive. And I can't believe that these are elected officials and they just run away. Oh my God. Freaking little kids. I don't know. But I'm glad to see there's a lot of calls, and it should. They should sit down, not take any recess until they can get a replacement in there. Why should they get time off? They're not doing their damn job. And someone, don't give me the Democrats on this one, because there's a lot of infighting going on within the Republican Party. They're like little kids. They can't do anything. They can't work together. And the shit behind closed doors is for the birds. Get together. All the different factions, get together, put your ideas down, start hashing it out so everybody gets along, and then put it forth. The Democrats don't want to work with us? Fuck them. And then if everything fails, who's it on? The Democrats. No matter what plan the Republicans put forth, the Democrats are going to scream, oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. Oh, my God, it's going to kill everybody. You replace one word on Obamacare and everybody's going to die instantly. It's freaking ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, it's drives me up a wall. Makes me wonder. I just why can't they act like adults? And I'm talking, yes, about the Democrats. Why can't they act like adults? Instead, they act like adults. Oh, drives me up a wall. Go, do your job. Do what you need to do. Stop. And all they want to do right now is just play politics. Point their fingers around. Oh, it's their fault. No, it's their fault. No. I don't care whose fucking fault it is. Get off your ass and do it. And the Democrats are at least, the Republicans are at least trying something. They're trying something. What are the Democrats doing? Just complaining and pointing fingers. That's it. That's all they're doing. Nothing more. Just, look what they're doing. Jeez. This is not what they were elected to do. And the Republicans have to get it through their heads. Yes, they need to do some work too, because, well, they can get their ass voted out too, just as quick. And I have no problem in that. So they need to get off their ass. They need to stop having all these work together. Work together. You're not children here. You're not little kids. You have the capability to talk. You have the capability to work together. Grow up. God. Drives me up a wall. Oh. All right. I'm trying to see where we're at. I don't know. I just did. When will these idiots grow up? We need to start electing people that are going to do their damn job and not act like little children. We need people that are going to go in there and do what they're supposed to do. And acting like a little kid is not doing what they're supposed to do. Drives me up the wall. I mean, if my kid acted like they did, holy shit, she'd be grounded nonstop. And that's what it sounds like this is. They're getting grounded from summer break. They don't deserve it. They need to go to summer school. You know? Until they can get off their ass and do something, they need to go to summer school. Because school's not out. School's out for summer. Sorry. What's funny is last day of school, my daughter actually started singing that. I started laughing. I was like, yeah, that's my daughter. Oh, God. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know. It's going to be a very, very weird time. Hopefully that's my wife I hear banging around out there. Hopefully. I think it is. But what I might do is actually take a break a little bit early, go out there. Someone sent flowers. For the passing of her grandmother. So let's see. Where are we at? Craptastic. All right, we're gonna hit a quick break, and I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go, talk to my wife for a minute, and I think everybody understands. Then we're really gonna get on with this show and really hit it hard. Bow, chicka, bow, down, bow, down. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Punter Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean, Dude, I'm not saying Catholics do it, bro. Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch broadcast, it's very easy. If you want to watch a live stream of the show, is it easy? Just go to shrmedia.com. Well, just go there. Click on the little button that says live stream /chat. And that's all you have to do. It's that easy. I told you it's easy. Just go there. Watch a live stream. While you're there, you're also in the chat channel. You can join the conversation and have fun with the show. You can tell me you love me, hate me. Tell me to kiss off. I don't care. Tell me what you think. So go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat button. Oh boy, I'm a little bit out of it. So, oh well. I think I have a good reason for being out of it. I'm also doing some things in the background. I really need a producer to do all this that works very cheaply. That works basically for $0. Try to remember to do everything in a 2-hour show. Sometimes can be very, very difficult. The other thing is with the new meds they put me on, one of them has me hyper. So I'm almost done. Yay. Well, not with the show, but all right. There we go. Let me see one last thing. Binkity binkity bonk. Bonkity boom, binkity bonkity bink. All right. Let's see where we're at. We talked about the RNC chairwoman is now calling for a break. No, spring or recess to be canceled. And I agree with her. They need to get it done. And the excuses are getting tiresome. And you can only blame the Democrats for so long before you have to take responsibility and just do it. Just dance. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. All right, let me actually get serious with this. Let me check Breitbart one last time, and then check a couple of the other sites. So I can do that while I'm doing the show. This is some good news. It's a report. Early trials of a cancer vaccine were safe and effective attacking tumors. Now, early trials of this custom cancer vaccine appears to be safe and effective at attacking and destroying tumors, according to a report. Let me get the glasses on. In 2 early clinical trials involving 19 patients with skin cancer, personalized vaccine appeared safe and effective at spurring immune response to attack and destroy tumors. Now, it's been long been said that the body could actually destroy cancer in the early stages with ease, but the problem is it's when cancer grows, it is your cells that are mutated and grows. So when the body comes along, it thinks it's its own cells, so it leaves it alone. Well, they also found out not too long ago, there's a protein that covers the cancer cells that mask and make it seem like they're part of the body. And what this, I will talk about it more, but basically what this vaccine does is they modify it to block that protein, which then allows the immune system to attack the cancer. I actually read about this 2 years ago, then it like disappeared. I think this is a version of it. This vaccine worked by coaching killer immune cells, T cells, to destroy tumors by seeking out unique mutated proteins on each patient's one-of-a-kind cancer cells while leaving healthy cells unharmed. So basically what I just said is pretty much true. The results of the 2 trials, both published this week in Nature, follow years of basic research and animal studies on this strategy. Researchers are optimistic, but there are big hurdles ahead of these small trials, including bigger trials with more patients and control. If those go well, researchers will likely have to figure out how to streamline creating vaccines for individual patients, which is currently tedious and expensive. Well, that part, the pharmaceutical companies are going to love that because they can make money off of expensive. Because this is not a treatment. This is a cure. And I'm pretty sure they've been trying to figure out how to make money off of a cure, because that's been the biggest one that people have talked about. Been a long time coming. This can and will give breath to a lot of people. I think this ought to be expanded and a little bit fast-tracked. This is not just a treatment. This is a cure. And this is something I think they ought to, especially if, and they've done it before with several types of experiments, where you have people that might be stage 4 and they have no hope at all. No hope at all. So they should have the right to go out and say, hey, here I am. You know? And that is something that should be addressed within our FDA. I don't know exactly what's in there, if they have it. But we should have a way to fast track some of these, especially if you have volunteers that are willing to take the chance. Because I know if I have no chance and there's a drug that might work, I would be willing to become a guinea pig at that point. I may not survive, but they may be able to come off of a cure from working that, experiment off of me. This shouldn't be mandatory, but volunteer basis. Something like this, fast-tracked and really pushed, we could wipe out cancer. Could you imagine a world where we're not worried about cancer anymore? Because that word right there just instills fear in people. That could stop people right in their tracks. Just mention of cancer. And I'm not trying to make light of it. It's scary as hell. It is. I remember when my dad, when he had prostate cancer, that was scary as hell. My brother, I didn't know. Ended up he had stage 4. He survived. So far, he survived. He's in remission still. Wound up with a feeding tube and, some other issues, but he's alive. My sister-in-law, it wasn't so lucky. She's passed away. It is a terrible word, and that they might have a cure. This is when we need our government to get the hell out of its way and let it go through. Not, push it through. Just let the scientists do what they do. Keep a close eye, but don't slow it down. There's a fine line, and we need to figure that line. Oh boy. I don't know. It's chances like this and breakthroughs like this that could just change our world. They've happened before. So hopefully these tests still get going. And with the cost of it, the pharmaceutical companies are going to make their money off it. And that's all they care about. I hate to be mean, but really, they only care about their bottom line. And that's sad. Just trying to do one last thing. So, there's a group in Florida called Florida Carry. Well, Florida Carry is asking SCOTUS to rule on open carry outside the home. I am very much for open carry. I know there's people that are against it. I know there's the anti-gunners that, oh my God, that big scary black thing. Oh my God, I can't go outside my house. It scares me. Oh. But Florida Carry is asking the Supreme Court, and it's not just kind of like, oh, I want to carry with a gun on my side. No, this is all over carry outside the home. It's from David Lee Norm versus State of Florida. Norm is a concealed carry permit holder who was confronted at gunpoint, frisked, handcuffed by police because the gun on his hip was visible as he walked beside U.S. Highway 1. He was charged with open carrying of a weapon. He appealed his conviction, which was upheld by the 4th District Court of Appeal of Florida. And on March 2nd, 2017, the 4th District decision was upheld by the Florida Supreme Court. It basically, with him walking and moving around, his gun became visible. That's what this is about. His gun became visible. So he's looking at massive jail time for quote unquote open carrying. But Norman is now appealing his case to the Supreme Court of the United States, and Florida Carry is funding the appeal. According to the filing, the Florida Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms does not guarantee a right openly to carry a firearm in public. The court therefore upheld Norman's conviction for openly carrying a firearm on his person. Let me ask you a question. Let's go back in time. And we're going to go to the Founding Fathers when the Second Amendment was written. Do you think they openly carried as they walked around everywhere? Or do you think they were hiding their weapon nonstop? I mean, it amazes me how people have such a fear of an inanimate object. I don't know. Yeah, it makes me stutter. Bleep, 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 bleep. That's all, folks. Most of these groups, it's a bunch of fake outrage and fake fear. I don't believe 1 ounce of their bullshit that they come up with. This is a court system trying to interpret the Second Amendment into the way they think. Our Second Amendment rights are granted upon us, not by the government. They're nature's right. We have the right to defend ourselves. We have a right to bear arms. It doesn't say just the right to bear arms on your property. And that's what it comes down to mostly. I have the right to protect myself. Now, there's a Judge Charles Kennedy. I'm butchering the name, and I know I am. He dissented from the majority of his Florida Supreme Court colleagues, writing, "The Second Amendment right encompasses being armed and ready for offensive or defensive actions in a case of conflict with another person. This is reinforced by the statement in McDonald versus City of Chicago 2010 that Heller held that the Second Amendment protects the right to keep and bear arms for the purpose of self-defense. The individual right to possess and carry weapons in that case, carry weapons in case of confrontation. Heller is to be armed and ready for offensive or defensive action in a case of conflict with another person." There is other reasons for the Second Amendment, but we're talking about the right to carry and protect yourself. Florida Supreme Court Justice Charles Kennedy stressed that the right to be armed for the purpose of self-defense, McDonald must necessarily encompass the right to carry arms in public. He also showed that Heller explained that in Noon versus State, the Georgia Supreme Court construed the Second Amendment as protecting the natural right of self-defense, and therefore struck down a ban on carrying pistols openly. Norman is now asking SCOTUS to issue a writ of whatever. There's a lot of legalese in this. Whereby the ruling upholding his conviction would be reviewed and defined. Holy shit, what is it, like once every episode I got to get into a stammering effect here? The appeal comes just weeks after Justice Clarence Thomas dissented in SCOTUS's decision to take holy shit, guys. All right. Everybody knows Justice Thomas chastised SCOTUS for not taking up the Second Amendment case that was with California, which revolves around California's requirement that concealed carry applicants show good cause for wanting to carry a gun before the state will issue them a concealed permit. Thomas said SCOTUS' refusal to hear that case was indefensible. As of right now, California only recognizes a right to carry a gun inside one's home for self-defense. Thomas wrote, I find it extremely improbable that the framers understood the Second Amendment protect little more than carrying a gun from the bedroom to the kitchen. Justice Neil Gorsuch joined Thomas in that dissent. I highly doubt that are the framers of the Constitution talked any bit about or worried any bit about what you did on your property. They didn't. That is your property to them, and they were writing about America. What the hell is that in the background? The hell? Huh. That's weird. Something's going on. All right. It's the founding fathers were not talking about private property when they wrote the Second Amendment. And as such, I can understand. I said I can understand states wanting to background check people to see if they can carry. I don't want convicted murderers carrying, rapists. But then there's a balance of are their lives worth less because of past crime? That's a whole different conversation. We don't see so far any major issue coming out of the states that have constitutional carry. Because I keep hearing in Florida, if we get open carry, oh my God, it's going to be blood in the streets. Everybody's going to be murdering each other every 5 seconds. Everybody's going to die. Oh my God. Seriously, I hear that all the time. The sky is falling. I've read articles and opinion pieces about other states before they did open carry and concealed carry. And the same arguments were used, except it doesn't seem it ever comes about. The only thing that ever comes about is the left's hate for our constitutional rights. Except when they get to burn flags, simulate murdering presidents, that type of stuff. You know, when they get to bash the president viciously with lies and propaganda, then they love our Constitution. When it comes to protecting, nah. But I can say this, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website, click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, boy. My damn controls are off now. Because whatever was going on with that damn line just had it all weird. Looking at buddy of mine's having a huge problem with his car. Just got it recently. And it's going back for the third time. They can't. Out of nowhere, while he's driving, he'll lose the speedometer and dash lights. You know, he's lost the radio. And they can't, he brings it in. They put it on the computer. They can't find anything. They send him out. That is embarrassing. These... I remember a time with mechanics. You brought a car in. They used their head. They looked at the symptoms, what you were telling them that was wrong with the car. And then they would fix it. Now, it's put it on the computer. Oh, not telling us anything. Bye. They don't think. They're not taught for independent thinking, and that's America today. No independent thinking. Just do what the computer tells you and shut up. Go on your way. That's scary. That is scary as anything. It's I don't know. Sean Spicer went after Jim Acosta in Washington Post article. His yelling is hurting the profession, and he is spot on. His yelling and freaking out and, you know, throwing this hissy fit would be it brings more negativity to mainstream media with him screaming and crying and carrying on instead of trying to act professionally. And he says that he's being nonpartisan, which is so full of shit, it's not funny. That is an outright lie, and everybody that has an IQ over 3 understands that he's bipartisan big time. He did not act like this with Obama. He did not go after Obama's press secretaries. He actually kissed their ass repeatedly. But the article goes on. The Washington Post profiled perpetually yelling CNN White House reporter Jim Acosta for Monday's paper under the headline, CNN Jim Acosta airs the news and his irritations. What stuck out most in the media report story was White House spokesman Sean Spicer letting Acosta having it, saying his grandstanding and over-editorializing is hurting the profession. In an interview, Spicer denounced Acosta and some of the harshest terms a press secretary has used, at least in public, to refer to a reporter. If Jim Acosta reported on Jim Acosta the way he reports on us, he'd say he hasn't been very honest. I think he's gone well beyond the role of reporter and steered into the role of advocate. He's a prime example of a reporter in a competitive YouTube click-driven industry. He's recognized that if you make a spectacle on the air, then you'll get some airtime and more clicks. If I were mainstream veteran reporter, I'd be advocating for him to knock it off. It's hurting the profession. This is actually what the media reporter for Washington Post found, that Acosta's over-the-top routine isn't drawing standing ovations from colleagues. A curious sidelight to all this has been the relatively tepid support Acosta has received from his fellow White House journalists. Only a few have publicly spoken out in support of him. There have been no walkouts or calls for boycotting the briefings, although Acosta has suggested collective action to get the cameras back. The White House Correspondent Association has confirmed its agitation to behind-the-scene negotiation with Spicer in several short general statements. But from CNN's Washington bureau chief, Sam Feist, An article was written by a Paul Farhi, drew the usual risible line that there's nothing new or partisan in Acosta's routine. He's just like Sam Donaldson, which is an insult to Sam Donaldson. CNN understandably sees things a bit different. Jim Acosta is a fantastic reporter, a great White House reporter, said Acosta's boss, CNN Washington bureau chief, Sam Feist, whatever. Jackass extraordinaire. CNN Washington bureau chief Sam likened Acosta to Sam Donaldson, the legendary feisty former ABC newsman, and makes no excuse for Acosta's pointed comment. Jim is just as tenacious now with Donald Trump as president as he was when Barack Obama was president. If you look at the reporting he did in the White House, you'll find he's the same Jim Acosta. Acosta struck a similar silly pose. This is not a crusade. This is not partisan. This is journalism. We're trying to hold them to account. Hey, hold on. We might have a surprise call in. And, ow, you there, Crash?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Say something.
Something.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I got the live stream back up and going. I've been doing that of late, and I just wanted to make sure that it was the audio was going over there.
Oh, you mean like you didn't have an ID 10T error?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure there was no ID 10T error. How the hell is it going? It's been a while since you've called in.
Yeah, it's been a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's been a bit. I mean, actually, no, I can't say it's been a while because the show for the night has only been, well, tonight will be a week.
Yep, and there was a shutdown lag
Yep.
of a few weeks during the transition.
Yep.
But in any case, yeah, it still has been a while.
How's things going?
Things are going.
Good.
Well, I actually gave you a call because I came across something very interesting today in my illustrious state of, Democratic People's Republic of Jersey. And I figured you'd get a kick out of it. And, well, it kind of fits in with the mantra of your show, I would say. So they've been doing all this online, all this radio advertising, all this online advertising. New Jersey's doing a gun buyback.
Oh, God.
You can go to 3 places in the upcoming weeks, and no questions asked. You can turn in your firearms. No questions asked now. Up to $200 per firearm, and you can turn in 3 firearms. Well, sounds pretty good, right? I can get up to $600. No questions asked. Okay, sounds good. So I decided to look into it a little bit. Well, I found a couple of problems with the program right off the bat. Number one, and this is nothing against Baptists, so please don't take it that way. I found it interesting that all 3 buybacks are being done at one denomination of religion. They're all being done at Baptist churches. Not at the police precinct, not at the community center, nothing like that. All being done specifically at Baptist churches. Just thought that was interesting. I really don't give a crap one way or the other.
That's pretty interesting.
What I found really interesting was, should I have an unwanted rifle of any caliber? So let's say I've got a Ruger Mini 13, right?
All right.
So I got a Mini 13. I'm going to turn that in. Well, list price, that's around an $800 gun. I'll get $100 for it. Okay? Now, if I've got a the same thing goes for a shotgun. Now, if I've got a handgun or a revolver, I can get $120 for it. So far I've covered rifles, shotguns, and handguns. So what classification is left? Oh, yes, the ambiguous assault assault weapon, not assault rifle. They specifically state assault weapon. Last I checked, that's not an actual definition for a firearm. That's a PR term. That's a descriptive term, and that is all in the eye of the beholder. Because everybody can determine on their own what they discern to be an assault weapon. So to get the $200, you have to turn in a firearm that legally does not exist, because it all has to do with furniture. So that Ruger Mini 13, that's $800. I can get $100 for. But I buy a piece of crap off the shelf AR platform, I can get $200, even though it costs 50% of the Ruger Mini 13. And I'm not trying to endorse any specific firearm. I'm just
you're pointing out that for a cheaper gun, you're getting less money. They're offering more money.
My point is, the only way to get the maximum amount is you're literally turning something in that is nothing more than a PR term.
Yeah,
it's not even an actual firearm term. It's complete fucking bullshit. Now, what I found really comical, and my family didn't really find it comical, because they're like, oh, well, that's because it's an assault rifle. I was like, no. It doesn't say rifle. It says weapon. And based on the description of an assault weapon, I could go down to Walmart right now. I could buy myself a hunting knife. I could attach a flashlight to it. Let me put a little forehead grip on it, and I'll attach 30 paper clips. Do you think I'll get $200 for that?
You might.
It doesn't say it has to be a rifle. It says weapon. So most likely, I'll just get arrested for being a wise ass.
No, you just get Billy clubbed over the head and shut the fuck up, you idiot.
Probably. But it's like, you've got to be, I mean, like, it's nothing more than PR terms, because the exact same bullet that comes out of one comes out of the other. It all has to do with the fucking furniture.
Appearance.
I could literally take some of these weapons, and I could literally take the firing mechanisms and change the fuck. I mean, I can take a Marlin 795 and make it look like an AR.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's not a half bad idea. Because a 795 costs about $90 to $110. I get the furniture for probably another $40. Make it look nice and scary. I'll make a fucking profit.
Well, for the collapsible stock and all that, they're actually making them for a lot of weapons now. The conversion kits. I mean, just about how many shotguns can you get it for now? Does that make it an assault weapon now? Just because it has the
technically it does.
I know
it's that's the screwy thing. It has nothing more to do. I mean,
it's appearance.
I could make a 22 caliber assault rifle for less than $200 legally. For less than $200. And I can get the state to pay me $200 for it. I can actually make a fucking profit now that I'm thinking about it. I wouldn't do it because I will not pay into this fucking system. I think it's a bunch of BS.
Yeah, but now, if you take a look at most of these buybacks, and I'm being serious, you look at the buybacks, they don't do as good as they try to promote. They don't. They usually.
Oh, no.
Because what is it here in Florida? They've done it. And then right at the beginning of the line, you get people to sit there, I'll buy the gun from you. And if they're offering like $50 inside, they'll be like, I'll give you $100 for the gun. And with Florida, I mean, you could do private sales, and there's nothing wrong with private sales.
The only thing you couldn't do up here, and that's actually not a half bad idea, because I might be able to get my hands like on a decent Mosin or FKF part. The only do with long guns up here. I would not be able to do that with, and the no questions asked thing, I mean, yeah, that still applies. Because I'm not asking any questions, but they have to have an FID, and so do I. I mean, there's a few more loopholes I'd have to jump through, and I'm sure.
But yeah, in Florida, they tried to do them, and one of them, they were like, we are not going to allow people to be offering money outside, and nobody showed up.
That's even better.
I mean,
that's even fucking better.
I mean, they had, honestly, I think the article said they had like 3 people show up. And one guy, he showed up with like a 1909 handgun. He's like, I found this in my drawer. And it was an old man. And he just, half the time when you do get them, when they start looking into it, I bet you they find out it was used in a crime and they're just disposing of the gun.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when it says, no questions asked, and they're really big on pushing the no questions asked thing. But when I looked at the frequently asked questions and the criteria, because they put, how do I transport it? Will you take ammunition? blah, blah, blah. The very first thing is who's eligible. Only legal residents of the state of New Jersey are eligible for the program. Okay, well, that makes sense, right?
So I have to show my ID. Racist.
Exactly.
Racist.
The next question is, do I have to show any ID? No ID will be shown,
racist,
or validated, or accepted, or copied down. I'm like, well, wait a second. You're just contradicting yourself. How am I proving that I am a legal resident of the state of New Jersey? Now, I get, okay, I don't have to show proof of ownership. I don't have to show any of that. Okay, fine. I get that underneath the no questions asked. But if you're making me validate the fact I'm a state resident, you just asked a question. How is it no questions asked? You're saying you will not look at ID.
What kind of gun is that? That's a question. Oh, shit. American Dad. The no question auto body repair. Yeah, but the no question auto body.
I should go buy a $50 Red Ryder BB gun and put a forward drop stock on it and a flashlight.
And a scope.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a toilet paper roll. Mount it to it. This is my scope. Oh.
I just thought you would get the biggest kick out of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's just, hell
funny yeah.
How they do this stuff. And of course, because of course I had to vent about it when I got home. But like I said, my household.
You're in liberal land.
I got a little bit of a mixed response.
You're in liberal land. Well,
one of my daughters, she actually asked me, she's kind of seriously, she's like, Dad, you're not going to get rid of your rifles, are you?
Hell
I haven't
no.
To shoot all of them yet.
If you're getting rid of your rifles, motherfucker, you better be P.O. Box Jersey Joe. I'll send you $5.
Make sure I wasn't getting rid of them because she wants to go shoot it. I'm like, yes. But then I looked at my wife very seriously. I said, don't you get any fucking bright ideas. I changed all the combinations on the safe. She just looked at me grinning. And she's like, I fuck with you a lot. I wouldn't fuck with your wife.
Sure, your wife isn't Jewish. That one's going to get me in trouble, isn't it? Not with you.
No.
The liberals. He hates Jews. Look at that. He made a joke about being cheap. I got allied with that the other day.
Yeah, you know what? The problem is that doesn't fly with the two of us, figuring there's Jewish in both of our families. So
I know. Well, I get that. We've discussed it. I right now I have hair. I haven't shaved lately. And but how many times you've been around when I get you're a big bald-headed guy. You're a Nazi. You hate Jews. I married into a Jewish family. Liar. No, he's not.
I absolutely love when you would get those, especially if we went out and somebody would call you out about that and you looked like the big bad biker dude. Yeah. And they were like, oh, you're a neo-Nazi. My wife's Jewish. Oh, you're just lying. You're lying. It's like, no, dude, she's not. I used to throw pennies across the floor just to see if she would fucking chase them.
I actually told the story during the daytime show of the stuffing. That was just still, my wife just gives me a glaring middle finger and laughs. Oh, she posted something up on Facebook for you on your page.
I saw it, and I was not going to dignify it with a freaking reply.
Yeah, but the messed up part is, okay, we were watching wrestling last night, WWE wrestling. We watch it, we get bored, and we were watching it. And it was one of the pay-per-views. And so the match is ambulance match where you have to throw your opponent in the ambulance and shut the door. Well, the one guy beats the shit out of the guy so bad, throws him in the ambulance. Now, takes off out into the back part of the arena. Stops, throws in reverse in this ambulance, and you hear tires squeal and backs it into a tractor and trailer.
Oh.
All I know is, holy shit. Watch the back end of that. I mean, he only backed it up a good 20, 30 feet, but got some weight moving. The back part of the rig actually snapped apart. Like the back 2 feet where the doors are actually snapped it off, and it was hanging just by the roof barely. I was impressed. Not impressed, but I thought there was more damage than should have happened to that rig.
Well, remember, all those things really are is that the van chassis and front end. And then it's U-bolts. I mean, you remember back in the, what was it?
Well, actually, wait, because I got off on a rant on it.
Trucks used to lose them.
Well, that immediately we saw that, and Allie goes, was crash driving that? So she then started looking up for photos, and she came across that Jeep photo, and she looks at me, she goes, is that his car from the accident? I had to take a double look. Because it was in Lawrence Township. That accident is from Lawrence Township, so I had to take a double look. It's from 206. But I thought it was actually your Jeep that you got in the accident with.
Well, first of all, wrong Jeep. I was driving a Cherokee, not the Grand Cherokee. Learn your models.
Yeah. First quick look. Shut up.
Okay, first quick look, they still don't look anything fucking alike.
I saw Jeep, and that's it.
I forgot you're the same guy. Ooh, boobies.
Yeah, boobies.
Yeah, well, here's one for you. You're talking about the ambulance, that quick backup. You want to know the only thing running through my fucking head? Stop the fucking red, you motherfucker! Okay, slams on the brakes, go flying in the fucking back door. You fucking asshole! Slams the accelerator, goes flying right back out the fucking doors.
All right, let's tell the story.
How the hell?
I'm driving at a parade. And we had the back doors open, no stretcher
that wasn't
in it.
At a parade.
Yeah, it was a parade when this happened. When I shot you out the back.
No, it was.
Yes, it was because it was going up 206 right in front of Notre Dame.
It was not coming up 206. No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
Sue was in the rig with us.
Our old crew chief, the one that would train the dogs.
No, Sue.
Yes. Dude, you're gonna tell a story. Tell it right. I've got brain damage, but not that much.
Oh, yeah. It was the parade because Sue was in there and she jumped in the rig and kicked you out of the front seat because she was on her bike and she was in her spandex.
It wasn't the parade where you did the stop and go on because you were the one fucking driving. No, it was a crew night. You pulled the stunt other times too, but the good one where you actually launched my ass.
That one I launched you out of the back.
That wasn't during the front. Well, how many times have you kicked my ass out of the back of that rig? How many times did I kick you in the fucking forehead in the middle of
Once.
All right.
Trick or treat. Smell like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I really.
Yes, people, we were very dangerous on the rig, except when we had a patient. Otherwise, we were injuring each other. We also got bored, and we used to play a game that basically was if you weren't covering your nuts or paying attention, you got punched in the nuts. It got
and that we both reproduced.
Yes, that's what I was getting to. People betted. We went so hard and heavy on that. People thought we were never going to have kids. I like the one that we were in the crew room getting ready to eat. I got you in the nuts. I was standing in front of you laughing. You hit me in the nuts. I gave a high-pitched squeal. Carol turns around and goes, holy shit, they do talk high-pitch, and started laughing as we're both on our hands and knees, withering in pain.
That really sounded bad, just so you know.
Bounce, 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 bounce.
They both give a high-pitched squeal as we're on our hands and knees. That sounds like a bad prison porno, just so you know. Okay? Just saying.
Everybody, you know where Dean's mind went.
Yeah, nice slip up there, asshole.
Yeah, I know.
It's all right. There's only like 4 people listening to the show anyway.
Something like that.
Yeah, anyway. That's why I called it. I figured you would kick out the whole buyback thing. I mean, I haven't seen one in Jersey. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw one. I've been waiting for something to come up. Not a buyback necessarily, but
is Chris Christie trying to divert from his beach escapade?
But honestly, I've got a new theory on that.
That was plain stupid of him.
No, I don't think it was plain stupid.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, just hear me out really quick.
Yep, I'm going to hear you out.
All right. He did the Ask the Governor, which is this radio talk show, the Monday before the shutdown. So those pictures were taken not even 7 days later, and they were talking about the potential for a shutdown on the radio show. And he blatantly said, I am going on vacation with my family. I am not changing my plan. We have people flying in. I am not changing my plan. So it was very, very obvious, very, very apparent. He was going to do what he was going to do. That's all there is to it.
Oh, they didn't tell that on national news.
Okay. So they do the whole shutdown, right?
Yeah.
All right. He's at the beach house. from either Friday or Saturday through until late Sunday or early Monday. And there was only one round of photos of him taken the entire time. And he's literally looking up at the sky when they're being taken. And it's not like, and if you look at them, you can tell they're all taken around the same time based on positioning. I mean, you can tell there was a spread, but it wasn't a massive spread. I'm sorry. That's screaming more of essentially, hey, here I am, come take my damn picture, America. That was more of a goddamn staged photo op on his part. Now, to what end? That I don't know, because it still makes him look, and he is an arrogant ass thing.
But I also nationally, I have heard.
It wasn't strategic.
I have heard nationally that Democrats in the state were blaming the Democratic majority leader for the shutdown. Because there was pretty much an agreement on the budget, and only the Democratic leader, the majority leader, was against it, and he's the one that put the kibosh.
Well, essentially, what ended up happening was the same thing that has happened in, on the federal level. Pareto turned around and he said he never even put it to a vote. And that's the thing that a lot of people aren't even hearing. It's not even so much that he disagreed with it. It was the fact that he flat out said, well, I don't like it, so I'm not putting it to a vote.
I heard that it would have got passed if he would have put it to vote.
Came out and said, well, wait a second. We can have a discussion about this. We could vote on this, and we can work it out. And he said, no. So essentially, until he got the terms that he wanted, he wasn't even letting anybody vote on it. And that pisses me off, whether it happens at a state level, a township level.
Tell me about it.
One person who dictates what will and will not be discussed.
I could sort of top that.
If you want to say there's no merit, fine.
I can top that.
But you know what? Well, the thing is, like, this is what I pointed out in my house, because everybody jumped on Christie, and I said, "Oh, the fuck, he's that." I'm like, I don't agree with him on this. But Pareto's also like, well, he didn't, no, he didn't have it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he wouldn't even.
His own party's throwing him under the table. His own party.
Well, I can't remember. Somebody in the house said something else about it. I was like, no. Look, if the party didn't want it, if the whole party voted it down, I would not put any blame on that side. I would look at it differently. But the party didn't vote it down. It was never even allowed to be discussed. He literally sat there and let the clock run out while he played around on his cell phone. That's crap.
I could top it.
And I don't agree with it.
I can top it.
I don't agree with it.
Down here in Florida last year, we were trying to push.
Hold on a second, brother. Have the phone. What's up?
Sounds like someone stopped by. It's ridiculous when you have one politician that's going to dictate what's going to happen.
All right, back.
All right, I can top it. I can top it real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Down here in Florida last year, we were pushing for open carry, and it had steam and it had support. It went to one committee. It passed a couple committees, and I think it passed the House, and it was in the Senate. Mm-hmm. And one Democrat in a committee refused to talk about it and killed the whole bill. Not even on the floor. In a committee, he refused to talk about it, and it killed the whole bill. I don't understand how a committee can kill a bill with one person just refusing to talk about it. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, or what.
No.
That should not be allowed.
I don't care if it's in committee. The whole point of the speaker is to speak on behalf of the committee, the House, the Senate, the floor, whatever the hell partition that they're involved in.
Harry Reid did that.
Is supposed to speak exactly, and that was my point at the federal level.
Yeah, the Harry Reid blocked bills left, right, and center.
Not dictate to what is allowed and not allowed. And that's part of and a lot of people don't realize that essentially if you've got even if it's a slight majority, let's say your majority is like, 2 Republicans or Democrats over the other side, but the speaker is the lower side, whether it's Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. They literally have the power to essentially say, oh, wait a second, this isn't my party that's endorsing this? I'm not even going to allow you guys to talk about it. I'm not even going to allow you to vote on it. Oh, the whole country wants it? I don't care. Because honestly, fuck them shit. That shouldn't happen. They're supposed to help maintain decorum. They're supposed to give it keep things in line.
Yep.
You're supposed to help keep it running, not dictate what can and can't be done. This shit should all be put on an agenda as it gets approved from one level to the next. It just gets added as a line item, and then at the beginning of the meeting, okay, on today's floor vote, we have such and such a bill sponsored by such and such.
Yep.
I open the floor, and that's all they should.
Now
be doing.
I can understand if the committee
dissenting vote, fine.
But if the committee shot it down and said, okay, this isn't a good idea, because the House did it not too long ago, where a committee was looking at some of these gun control measures, and it was split between Democrat and Republican, and the committee decided this is a shit idea, and the committee shot it down. I can understand it not going forward.
That's a committee shutting it down.
Right. It's more than one person deciding. Well, I wanted to throw that in there. I understand sometimes bills get killed in committee, but there's a difference between a committee voting on it and one person going, we're not going to discuss it, because everybody in that committee, there was a majority in that committee that would have passed it on, and it would have became law by now. We would have open carry in the state of Florida.
Yeah. And that's why I have a problem. And the thing is, what a lot of people don't realize, when you look at, okay, the one person refuses to allow it to go through in committee, so it dies in committee, the only official statement is bill died in committee. Bill did not get approved or did not pass through committee. But it never says why. Now, if it didn't pass through the committee because the committee was, they was like, okay, look, we got a 60-40 split here. We can't agree on anything. This doesn't look right. Something's not quite right. Okay, fine. It makes sense. Let's not waste the time of the rest of the legislature on something that is really obscure and doesn't make sense. But if it died in committee because one person essentially said, no, that's not the way the process is supposed to work.
No, and that's not the way our forefathers said.
And that's what I get pissed off about. And that's what pissed me off about Parade House.
Well, I find it funny how, in certain areas, only certain information is going out. But when you look at the whole picture, it's a bigger, a little picture that some make it out to be. I mean, I know about that it was majority leader because I read a little bit more than just reading headlines. And I read where there was Democrats that came up publicly and, bitched about it. But, if you just read the headlines or certain mainstream media, you would just see, the outlaw Christy Wales sitting on a beach. Which,
like I said, I mean, honestly, my opinion on that is that was more of a photo op for him. I mean, he can't run for governor. There's no way in hell he's going to get a position in this state again. His best move right now is, honestly, in my opinion, is there's no such thing as bad publicity, because he's not going to be able to run for anything anywhere for quite a while. However, if he makes enough of a stir, keeps his name and his face out there, people are still going to fucking remember him. You give it 10, 15 years, people are not, maybe not know why they remember the name, but if they go to the voting booth and they don't know anything about anybody, what is the tendency of most people? They're going to vote for something familiar.
Yeah, but also it's giving the Republicans a big black eye.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was an arrogant SOB thing to do. I don't agree with what he did. I'm completely fucking against it. And it pissed me off to no end. But there's a lot more to it that is not being publicized. Pareto is getting a lot of negative press, but Christie's getting more due to his dumbass photo op.
Yeah. That was...
And Pareto's getting a lot just due to his dumbass mustache. I mean, I'm sorry. Dude, 70s died.
I don't know what the mustache looks like, but oh my God, I got a visual for that. And it just...
Yeah, how's that one for you before bedtime?
If for some reason, I don't know why I got the 70 porn mustache stuck in my head. Oh, God.
Dude, that's what it looked like to me.
You know what? You didn't even have to say it, and I knew that's where you were going with it. Oh, God. Listen, we already missed one break. I got to take a break now, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, since you're going to cut, I'm actually going to cut out, and hopefully I'll jump on another time, all right?
All right, brother. Thank you for calling in. Peace. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sako as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and that was Crash. He's a good friend of mine. He will be calling in from time to time. We're both trying to get our lives together and back in order. Oh, let's see. Where are we? I wonder. Check it. So huh. Yeah, I can do it. Wow. Yep. Cool. Playing around with a number. So I like this. I like it a lot. Wow. This is cool. So, I'll have my call-in line back up and running probably this week. So that's what I'm doing behind the scenes right now. That's why I'm not talking all that much. But let's see where we're at. Let's go back. All right. So where are we with the show? Here's one for everybody. Jane Sanders, the land deal that has the FBI probe. Well, that probe is reportedly seeking grand jury testimony. It may switch from just an investigation into a grand jury. You know, the one that Bernie Sanders claim is just partisan politics. And later on in the article, there's some quotes of him saying that it's just Trump and Jeff Sessions politically targeting him and his wife to try to keep him from running for president in 2020, as opposed to, hey, there's evidence of illegal doing. There's some people that have spoken out that Jane Sanders wrote down and said they were going to donate money and how much, and she fraudulently lied, it appears. This is not political. I'm pretty sure the initial investigation saw that it might be political, and once they started looking into the evidence led them that it's not a political hit piece. Bernie Sanders is just trying to use that as an excuse to keep his wife and himself from being investigated. Politicians, specifically those on the left, and Bernie Sanders is on the left, he can have that eye all he wants. He ran as a Democrat. He is a socialist. He is a liberal. He is that D. And they're the ones that seem to be breaking the laws and seem they think they are above the law, i.e. Hillary Clinton. Which, that one brings me to another subject of Comey, ex-FBI director Comey, may get in trouble for doing the exact same thing he let Hillary Clinton slide on. It seems those memos that he wrote have top secret information, classified information, that he was letting anybody and everybody under the sun read. He may have exposed classified information. In his zealous to try to take down Trump for his master, Hillary Clinton, he may have broke the law that he let Hillary get away with. That would be poetic justice to watch him go down for what he let her escape with. But Jane Sanders, the federal probe into allegations that Bernie Sanders' wife fraudulently obtained a nearly $10 million loan for a land expansion at a Vermont college has intensified, with prosecutors reportedly calling a state official to testify before a grand jury. The federal investigation is focused on actions by Jane Sanders in 2010 when she was president of Burlington College. At the time, she sold a multi-million-dollar loan for a new campus on 33 acres along Lake Champlain. Sanders reportedly told college trustees and bank lenders that the college had millions of dollars in donations that could be used to repay the loan. But the Washington Post reported Monday that trustees said they discovered many of the donors had not agreed to the amounts or the timing of the donations listed in materials Mrs. Sanders provided. A lot of them notified them that upon their death, they would be bequeathing all the money to the college, which was not when it was kind of needed to repay this loan or what she supposedly marked down. I can understand one person, okay, she made a mistake, a misunderstanding, but it seems this happened on multiple occasions. She had sought a $6.5 million loan from People's United Bank to buy tax-exempt bonds issued by a state agency and a $3.65 million second mortgage from the Roman Catholic Diocese of Burlington. In order to secure the money, Sanders submitted a spreadsheet that attempted to show appropriate parties that the school had $2.4 million in confirmed pledges, grants, and other funds to repay the debt. But a complaint rising questions about these pledges was first filed in January of 2016 by the law firm Di Giovanni and Tosning's partner Brad Tosnings, a former Donald Trump president campaign official, wrote the complaint. His involvement has led Senator Sanders to blast the probe and scrutiny as a pathetic and political attack. But Tosning, vice chairman of the Vermont Republican Party last week, made allegations similar to those detailed in the latest Post report. In order to get those loans, she had to confirm guaranteed donations of $2.6 million, Tosning said on Tucker Carlson Tonight. Last Thursday, of that $2.6 million, the school was only able to collect about 25%. And of the confirmed donations, 3 of the donors have come forward to say that the school overstated their pledge amounts. Tosning said that the Catholic Church and Vermont taxpayers were harmed in the alleged collection of funding. Government investigators reportedly suggested that the investigation is focused solely on Jane Sanders and the alleged bank fraud, and not the independent Vermont senator. Sanders spokesman Jeff Weaver denied allegations, confirmed that Jane Sanders hired a law firm in the spring in an effort to thwart any effort by the Trump's Justice Department to use the investigation as a way to block a potential 2020 opponent. While the Obama administration was in office, I don't think anyone thought that this baseless allegation warranted hiring an attorney. But with Trump and attorney Jeff Sessions at the helm, that's a very different situation. Yeah, during Obama's time, of course, nobody had to worry about jack shit back then. Unless you were a Republican. If you were a Democrat and you sided with Democrats, you were not going to be prosecuted. You were not going to be investigated. So, of course, Sanders didn't have to worry. And when he thought Hillary was going to win, oh, even better. Sorry, now that Trump and Attorney General Jeff Sessions are at the helm and law has been restored to this country, now he wants to cry that it's politics. Well, it was politics that you weren't investigated before. Now, Sanders told CNN that his wife was perhaps the most honest person I know. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure those people that knew Charles Manson spoke very highly of him. I'm trying to, Gotti, I'm pretty sure they spoke highly of him. And his wife would say that he was the most kindest man anyone would know. Of course, Sanders is going to come to the defense of his wife. Sadly, we are in a moment where parties not only attack public officials, they have to go after their wives and children. This is pathetic in the way politics is in America today, Sanders said on CNN. So basically what he's saying is because he's a politician, no one should be allowed to investigate him or his wife. Again, they say they're above the law. Of course, he's going to say it's baseless accusations. Was he going to come out and say, yeah, there's evidence of it, but my wife's innocent, but there's evidence? Of course not. He's going to come out, defend his wife, and try to deflect and make every goddamn excuse. Still not buying it. Not buying it there, Sanders. Colonel Sanders, I ain't buying your chicken. All right, report. James Comey memos contain secret or confidential information, as I was talking about that just a few minutes ago. More than half the memos created by former FBI Director James Comey of his private conversations with President Trump have been found to contain classified information, according to a new report. 4 of the 7 memos Comey created had marking clear they contain information classified at the secret or confidential level. Officials directly familiar with the matter told The Hill. The revelation that 4 of the 7 memos included some sort of classified information opens a new door of inquiry into whether classified information was mishandled, improperly stored, or improperly shared, it said. This revelation raises the possibility that Comey broke his own agency rules and ignored the same security protocols that he publicly criticized Hillary Clinton for in the waning days of the 2016 presidential election. That's all I got to say. It just makes me goddamn laugh. It makes me want to giggle. What is funny to me is sit back, close your eyes, and we're going to look at a little bit in the future. And imagine he gets arrested, convicted of exactly what he let Hillary Clinton get away with. Is that not karma biting someone in the ass? That would be poetic justice if he get bit in the ass like that. For the same thing, yes, he criticized Hillary Clinton, but he didn't recommend an indictment against Hillary Clinton. We all know everything he pretty much listed should have been an indictment. Anybody else would have been indicted and said, well, it's very borderline here, and we're going to let a jury decide. But of course, because it was Hillary Clinton, he let it slide. Well, I don't think we have an administration that's going to let it slide this time. I think we got an administration that's going to go hard and heavy on Comey. Of course, the left's going to scream, oh, it's just political posturing on Trump. No, it's cleaning the swamp. Everybody keeps wanting him to drain that swamp. Well, it didn't take a week, a month to dirty that swamp up. It took decades for it to get where it is. And it's going to take some time for Donald Trump to drain that swamp. Everybody expected him. And I know he said the first day. They all say that. But he has been slowly working to clean Washington, D.C. up. You need to give time for things to go forward. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep fighting. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and HP Pundit, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and hyphensdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. My name is, I go by Jersey Joe. And I'm trying to make sense out of this senseless. It's a tough job. So I got kind of distracted. Someone I know, I respect him, he's blessed with having a meeting with the former head of the NRA. And I kind of said, hey, I wish I could, because I would love to give the story to the NRA of my pro-gun stance. And he's like, said that he would mention it. So I was looking I had wrote an article about my pro-gun stance and how I came about and the questions that I ask. And I was posting that. So, all right, we're on the last half of the show. Let's see where we are. All right, we talked about James coming. Listen, he opened up this can of worms on himself. I'm not saying that he should be quiet and if there was anything illegal, but the problem is he opened a can of worms on himself after he got fired. He thought he was going to be a smart ass and run his mouth. What that's actually done is bite him in the ass. And it's not good. The man could be looking at some time. I mean, it's a very, very long shot, but it's a chance. Now we have some more fake news from Washington Post. Without any evidence whatsoever, the Washington Post suggested on Saturday that local conservative radio host incited James Hodgkinson, who supported Bernie Sanders and liked watching Rachel Maddow on TV, both of whom are not even mentioned in the article, to shoot House Majority Whip Steve Scalise and 3 others last month. And the story, titled "An Alexandria Shooter's Hometown Rage-Filled Radio Host Channeled Middle America's Inner Frustration." The Post, Peter Hawley travels to Hodgkinson's hometown of Bellevue, Illinois, to find a local conservative talk radio host who is easy to demonize. Notice how he picks a conservative, but this guy was a liberal nut job. He ignores the fact that this shooter was a big fan of Bernie Sanders. It was a left-leaning liberal, and we've talked about that. But it's funny that they're trying to deflect big time and blame it on conservatives. Sorry. But according to Holly, the host used the N-word on the air and even at Applebee's, along with other racial and homophobic slurs that some have labeled hate speech. He writes that despite being a diehard supporter of President Trump, who's perfected the art of populist message, many of the host's biggest fans in Illinois are disgruntled Democrats like Hodgkinson. There's just one problem. Holly has no evidence whatsoever that Hodgkinson's listened to the radio show host, who described himself as the Grim Reaper of radio and proudly talks about his Caucasian heritage to anyone who will listen. The publicity-seeking radio host tells the Post that Hodgkinson's probably listened to him, but can't say for sure. I could say for sure if this Hodgkinson guy listened to me, but he probably did. Bob Romantic, the attention-craving host, reportedly said, if people would be honest about what drove Hodgkinson to the point of violence, you'd probably see a lot of people right on the same page with him all over the country, but around here, for sure. There is evidence, though, that Hodgkins supports Sanders, hated Trump and Republicans, and watched Rachel Maddow show. Neither Sanders nor Maddow are even mentioned in the piece. You know, it's pretty ridiculous, and they're stretching. They are overreaching. This man volunteered for Sanders' presidential campaign in 2016, belonged to Facebook groups like Terminate the Republican Party, in addition to others like Expose Republican Fraud, Liberal Democratic Socialist Party, Boycott the Republican Party, I Hate Donald Trump, Healthcare and Education Burners Unite to Resist Trump. Yeah, I can see him listening to some whack job piece of shit radio host that's spewing some pro Donald Trump. Yeah, I see how that adds up. Washington Post is so desperate to try to save their masters from any negative press, it's almost sickening anymore. And it drives me up a wall. Makes me wonder what the hell happened to this country. We have gone downhill and so crazy of late. And it's sad. It is sad what the state of this country is in. There's a lot of things turning around, but the overall mood is still very negative and very confusing. I don't know. I know when you have Bill de Blasio, he skipped the funeral for an assassinated officer in New York City, the town he is responsible for. He skips the funeral so he can go protest like some little teeny bopper over in Germany. Now, there is questions popping up. Who paid for all this? Who paid for his security that he has that follows him around? I don't know. Hopefully, people of New York did not pay for him to go protest. I have a funny feeling they did. And they're getting ripped off. It makes me stutter, stammer. Let's see, what else do we have? 2 million people in second quarter of 2017 will be losing insurance underneath Obamacare. A new Gallup Share Care poll shows that 2 million more Americans are without insurance this year, with the number of uninsured raising to 11.7% in the second quarter of 2017, up from 10.9% in the second quarter of 2016. The poll stated that 10.9% uninsured was a record low over the period from 2008 to 2017. The story about the poll also notes that the highest percentage of uninsured American was in 2013 at 18% before Obamacare insurance exchanges opened. However, also starting in 2014, people who did not buy healthcare insurance faced penalties enforced by the IRS. Several marketplace factors could be contributing to the uptick in the uninsured rate since the second half of 2016. Rising insurance premiums could be causing some Americans to forego insurance, especially those who fail to qualify for federal subsidies. Furthermore, some insurance companies are leaving the ACA marketplace, and the lack of competition could be driving up the cost of plans for consumers. The article also stated that uncertainty about the future of Obamacare could be a factor as Republicans work this week to put in place legislative that will undo parts of the law. Uncertainty surrounding the health care law also may be driving the increase. President Donald Trump's executive order permitting agencies to waive or delay provisions that impose fiscal burdens on individuals, as well as the prospect of a new healthcare law, may be causing consumers to question whether the penalty for not having insurance will be enforced. The poll also found that the uninsured rate has risen 1.9 points among individuals who are 18 to 25 years old, and 1.5 points for those who are 26 to 34 years old since the end of 2016. Noting that some people may decide paying a fee to IRS is less costly than health insurance. The article on the poll also noted that the success of government-run healthcare relies on redistribution of financial responsibility for one's healthcare costs from individuals to healthy young people, subsidizing the cost of healthcare for older people and for unhealthy younger people through higher premiums. Young adults represent a critical demographic in a robust healthcare market, since their premiums help offset the higher cost of older Americans who typically use more medical services. I don't know. We need to do something. Obamacare is failing at a high rate. It was meant to fail. But of course, you got DNC Chair Perez, Mr. Doom and Gloom. People will die if the Affordable Care Act is repealed. Oh, my God. What did people do before Obamacare? I mean, there must have been billions of people dying every day, you know, without Obamacare. I know I gave an exaggerated number. It's fucking ridiculous. You're not going to have people dying by the millions. You're not going to have people dying. It's going to be the same. They're not looking at just repealing. They're replacing. It is Chicken Little syndrome with the Democrat Party, because that's all they have. All they have is fear-mongering, Chicken Little, sky is falling. I've been hearing it since November 8th that the sky is falling. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. But yet the sky is still up. The sky is blue. The sun is, well, it's not shining right now. I mean, it's nighttime, but you know what I mean. They can't combat it with facts. So they show videos of little grandma getting pushed over the cliff. Funny thing is, with Obamacare, there's people getting procedures turned down because of their age. They have certain healthcare problems. It's not cost effective to treat them. That is a death panel. And with that, we've come to the end of the show. I want to wish everybody a great night and give your loved ones a big hug, because you never know when it's that time. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hbpundit.com and shrmedia.com.